Blessed day to you, all my sports to the bone people. Back at it again with another video. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope everybody's doing okay. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, CPL 2025 gets underway later on tonight. Yes, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots and the Antigua Barbuda Falcons will kick things off. I haven't really touched on CPL 2025 much. I was really busy over the last few months covering international cricket. Now that we are stepping into CPL, gonna spend some time going through the squads. So let's start with the two teams that will get things up and running. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots and Antigua Barbuda Falcons. St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots, they have actually brought in some good players. I'm expecting a good outing from them this year. Let's go through this squad real quick. So they have Alec Arthanes, they have Andre Fletcher, Linika Boucher is there, Jade Gooley, Evan Lewis, they have Mikel Louis, Riley Russo is also there, they have Corbin Bosch, they have Dominic Drakes, Jason Hola, Kyle Mayers, Mohamed Nawaz. You all will remember that name from the Pakistan series that we just that was just concluded. They also have Jeremiah Louis. They have Ashmead Ned is also there. They also have Fazarak Farouki. He's also there. Wakar Sal Michael and Navin Bedasi. So those are the players that are listed to represent St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots in the 2025 staging of the CPL. Obviously, this is the latest update because it gets underway later on tonight. So if there are any changes as the tournament goes along, we'll definitely pick up on those changes. So that's it for St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots. Now, the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons, they have Joel Andrew. They have Bevan Jacobs, he's an overseas player. Kevin Wickham is also there, good young talent, he's only 22. Amir Jangu, they have Fabian Allen, Rakim Cornwall, Justin Graves is also there, Iman Wazim, the all-rounder. They have Shakib Al Hassan, Odin Smith, they have Shamar Springer, Kamar Gore is also there, or Karima Gore is there. They have Gazanafar, another overseas player, he's only 19. Joshua James is there, Obed McCoy. They have Naveen Olhak, another overseas player, Jaden Seals. Right, so those are the players that are listed to represent the Antigua and Barbuda Falcons in this year's staging of the of CPL. This is the taking it off the website, my people. As I said, the first game is later on tonight. So if there is anybody missing, I guess we will hear that later on tonight. But as far as I can see here, this is these are the two squads, and some good overseas players, my people. Not only established overseas players, but some good youngsters coming in. Also happy to see some youngsters from the region. Guys like Kevin Wickham and these guys getting an opportunity. As we know, Joel Anjo, he has played international cricket already. So, nice. We see Jaden Seals here representing the Falcons. So we're definitely happy to see these guys. Now, later on today, before the game, I will be doing another video. Usually before the game, I like to just talk about key players. This is franchise cricket. A lot of people don't follow it closely as how they follow West Indies cricket, but seeing that this is the CPL, I know that quite a few Caribbean fans will be looking forward to seeing how our international players will perform. So later on, I will go through and identify some players that I think hold the key for these two teams. Now, the aim is to go through all the squads before the other game. So we're getting these two out of the way first because they are in action later on tonight, and then we can take it from there as it relates to the other squad. Right now I am a lot of fans might say that, boy, they're not really paying attention to the CPL or franchise cricket or stuff like that. But, you know, we have seen where quite a few youngsters, they have actually, you know, they were able to get themselves established, you know, playing CPL, and then, you know, they get drafted into the West Indies team. So, you know, it's as they would say, 6 of one and half dozen of the other. You know, you want youngsters to get opportunity, you want them to play, you want them to earn a living. But sometimes when these guys, you know, they play in some of these pop-up leagues, you know, they will perform, and then, you know, people just start throwing white ball contracts at them, so they don't get the opportunity to really develop properly. You know, I will always refer back to the interview that I did with O'Shane Thomas. I think it was about last year or so, early last year, you know, where he was saying that his aim was always to play test cricket. But when he came through, you know, he did well in the CPL, and then, you know, he got called up for the T20 team, and then, you know, he got a chance to play in the IPL and things like that. And then, you know, we see what has happened. And quite a few people, even if we look at Odin Smith, another guy from my part of the world, you know, had some good pace. You know, we were expecting him to develop into a very good all-rounder. I think it was last year or the year before, you know, we hear him talking, and I think it was on Sportsmax, talking about not being able to bowl a certain amount of overs within a day. You understand? When we have guys in their mid-20s not being able to do that, you know, then you really and truly realize, say, it's just T20 and T10 that their career is going to, you know, that's where their career is going to be. But having said that, my people, I'm hoping that, you know, we will be able to identify some good youngsters coming out of the CPL this year. There are some guys that, you know, probably last year or the year before, you know, they have shown that they have the ability. You know, we're hoping they will get the opportunity and will score some runs, you know, and pick up some wickets. Because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, the cricket keeps moving. You know, a few years ago, we were dominant. We had the likes of Chris Gale, we had Dwayne Bravo, Pollard, you know, all of these guys, you know, Marlon Samuels, Narayan, Badri, Rusley in his heyday. We had all of these guys, my people. Teams were fearful when they were coming up against us in T20. No, not so much. You know, so as much as how we really want to see the youngsters focusing on red ball cricket, this is where the youngsters are looking, you know. So we just have to hope that they perform to at a level when they are playing these franchise cricket. So, you know, and they eventually get an opportunity to play T20 for West Indies. I mean, this is what is selling. So this is what CWI and all of these guys seem to be investing in. You understand? That is why as soon as a talent pops up, you know, they will draft them into T20. We see the likes of Andrew, Joel Andrew, you know, all of these guys that you would hope they would go and play a whole lot of red ball cricket to properly develop. You know, they know that this is what is attracting the money. You know, we listened to Brian Lara the other day talking about CWI, you know, needing to know what motivate the players so they can tap into it to sort of level the playing field in terms of making sure that we have the best available talent playing international cricket, right? This is what attracts attract the players. You know, you can't fight them. They have to earn a living. You understand? Nobody in CWI in position will offer up their salary, you know, to the players, or offer up part of their salary and say that, boy, they are doing it because of patriotism. They're not going to do that. So, you know, we know the youngsters, they are driven by this, you know, wanting to play CPL, wanting to get these IPL and all of these contracts and stuff. So, you know, whenever they are playing, we just have to wish them the best. I see sometimes people saying that if it's not playing for West Indies, they couldn't care less. They don't want the players to perform. I mean, I can understand you not watching, but to wish and to hope that people don't sign them. Sometimes I see players don't make themselves available for whatever reason, and I see people saying that, boy, IPL and other franchise teams should not sign these players if they're not playing for their country. You have to remember that all of these franchises is a business. They are running their own business. So then they don't worry. They're not worrying about who playing. I mean, teams like India, you know, if they have players that are giving them trouble, you understand? Obviously they're not gonna be able to play IPL and all. But generally speaking, you know, teams gonna pick up players from all over the world once they can come and contribute to their league that they have going. So, you know, even if guys aren't playing for West Indies, all you can do, just say you're not watching them or wish them the best, you know. To say that you hope that people don't sign them and you hope they don't get any work is a bit sad, you know. So we're gonna leave it right here, my people, but we'll talk again. Big up.